Biographical life story and rock and roll adventures of Max Baker Jr. Sponsored by MedCards Made Easy. Visit MedCardsMadeEasy.net and the Fabulous Baker Boys. Always hiring. For more information, call 405-417-7656. This is the Here's the Deal podcast with Max Baker Jr.
I am Max Baker Jr., and this is my story. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Yo, this is Big Dad Rich, the Band of Outlaws, THC, Texas Hippie Coalition. And
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Millions of miles traveled across the globe. Thousands of concerts attended. Hundreds of thousands of records and concert tickets sold as a music store owner. Some people listen to music. Some actually live the life and survive to tell the tale. This is the autobiographical life story and rock and roll adventures of Max Baker Jr. Sponsored by MedCards Made Easy. Visit MedCardsMadeEasy.net and the Fabulous Baker Boys. Always hiring. For more information, call 405-417-7656. This is the Here's the Deal podcast with Max Baker Jr.
I am Max Baker Jr., and this is my story. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Jelly Roll, and here's the deal.
We are here. That's the first time I ever uploaded the intro to the Roadcaster.
Live.
I thought Jelly Roll was really here.
Normally I just assemble all of that and put it all together.
It was coming out of my bathroom.
No, now
No, that'd be more of a reverb to it.
So what did you think, Max? Do you like having a proper intro to start the show?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know?
I know you've heard that before because I sent it to you when I made it. But it's more like a real show when we're...
It feeds his ego is what it does. It feeds that ego.
Here's the thing. We're here.
Here we are.
It's taken us a minute to get here.
We were delayed by Mother Earth and the blizzard of 2024 that dumped a solid inch and a quarter of snow.
Not very much.
This is what I like to call, this was a 5-alarm milk and bread emergency.
Oh, all the way.
When the
on the local stations?
It was a food grab at the store.
When the meteorologists start hyping up a weather event, whether it be tornadic or thunderstorms in the spring.
I'm Mike Morgan of the Forewarned store team.
Or snow and ice.
Yeah.
But especially snow and ice in the wintertime. People in Oklahoma freak out.
Well, here's the deal. The reason is those meteorologists get so excited, especially like tornado season. Oh, my God, you should see this.
I love tornado season.
Because they're like the crocodile hunters of the meteorologists.
On this highway at this time right now,
you
can't take Redbridge. You're
gonna
die.
Those exact words were said.
I mean, that's almost downright scary. But this cold weather, not only has it been cold, but also flu season or whatever. Because I caught something that was just, it put me down.
You don't have that. Thing, do you?
He already gave that to you last week.
I mean, so, and then unfortunately, your mom had something.
Not my mom, your mom.
You are well versed in diabetes, and I am too from dealing with my mom. Where
it's scary.
It's very, very scary. My mom has been a type 1 diabetic since I was like 13 or 14 years old. So
that's at least 10 years.
Yeah, she got a cold. It turned into an infection. It got into her bloodstream, and it caused her pancreas to stop working, and she's been insulin dependent ever since.
You will die.
Her pancreas does not work at all. And so for the last, 15, 16 years or so, she's been on what's called an insulin pump. There are, tons of advancement in medical technology. They've got these pumps that are small. I say they're about the size of a pager.
They want to give me one, but I'm not. I haven't made that far yet.
And they work like your pancreas. Like they deliver insulin to your body at a slow pace rather than all of it all at once, because your body's not designed to take it like that.
Correct.
But it works and keeps you alive.
Correct.
Well, her pump was older, stopped working, and so she wasn't getting any insulin whatsoever.
And this was like in the middle of the night, right?
Middle of the night or during the day, we're not sure what. But thank goodness she has great friends, because one of her friends called her and couldn't get a hold of her. And so her friend called me and said, hey, I'm trying to call your mom.
You saved your mother's life.
She's not answering. And so we both just took off from where we were and headed to her house. And we got there about the same time. Had to call the ambulance. And,
Sure.
and she was in ICU for 5 days or so. And God bless those nurses at Mercy and ICU, because my mom is a handful. And when you're a diabetic and your blood sugar's all out of whack, you're just the meanest human being possible, and you don't mean it.
I met
it's
that
just
guy
the way.
once.
It's just the way it is.
I was going to say, that kind of reminds you of
You
kind of
know,
reminds me of you, Max, whenever you get
I mean,
your sugar
you
out
know,
of balance.
As your mother, for myself, being a diabetic, I never knew that I was a diabetic. And
You were just feeling ill all the time and feeling like crap.
I had this sore on my leg at one time, a long time ago, and I had it checked out. And what happened was
It wasn't healing.
it wasn't healing right, and he said I needed to take blood sugar thing or whatever, and it didn't even register. I blew it out blew it off the deal, and then from that point on, I started a long road of diabetes. And, diabetes is also hereditary. It's family driven. And, it's for myself, angry individual, because now I've got 2 strikes. I'm a recovering drug addict, alcoholic, and I'm a diabetic. Both inherited from family. Not because I woke up and wanted it. It's just the way it is. It's life. And so, with that being said, like your mom,
What did you say your mom's blood sugar level was?
over 1,000.
Yeah, they tried to test it using one of those normal testing machines, and it wouldn't read. It was so high. So they had to do a special test, and it came back. It was over 1,000. And once your blood sugar gets over 600, 700 area,
you can become septic too.
You become delirious, where if you're able to say anything, it makes no sense whatsoever. You're really delirious, and you don't have control of your limbs or your arms. I mean, it's a bad
well, you
deal.
get into what I call no man's land. I've been there.
Because yours has gotten really high before, too.
When it gets that high, your blood starts turning acidic. The pH level changes, and it's called diabetic ketoacidosis. And it's where your blood is turning acidic. And so they have to combat 2 things at one time. They have to get your blood sugar down, but then they also have to filter out the acid in your blood and get your pH levels back down.
Get it back to where
it's
blood.
So back to all this, every year I run across a date that, it's a good and a bad day. But this year, January 9th, 2024, January 9th, 2009, most of you guys sitting in this room, I fell off of stage. A simple fall changed my life forever, and going into the hospital at that time with a high diabetic rate, the doctors didn't give me, they were very brutal as far as like telling my parents and family and friends, he's going to die. He may not make it. I was also in shock. Never be able to walk again. And, had broke my leg in 4 places. And I can remember I was put in a cage with my leg straight out. And they couldn't do any surgery until I got the sugars down enough to do it. And so from that point on, it became 7 surgeries later, an infection, staph, blood becoming septic, getting delirious, dying, but being brought back. And so,
I remember getting the phone call from Lisa McGinnis, who was on this podcast, because I lived in Ardmore. I had just moved. And she says, hey, you got to come up here and see Max. You may not get another chance. That it was bad.
And so as it went on, I had doctors tell me, let's amputate the leg, this. And, I got into a state of depression, bloomed up to 440 pounds, didn't want to live. But by the grace of God, one sports medicine doctor told me he could save me and put me in the water. And so I started being able to move my feet. Things got a little bit better. And
well, you were already ready to lose the leg at the point.
Yeah, I'd went in there.
And as a last-ditch effort.
I'd went into 2 doctors who told me, one, you're fat, your sugar's high, you're diabetic, you don't take care of yourself. Pretty much just I wanted to whip his ass. And, but the other part of it was he's right to a certain extent. But
it's hard to shake those words.
But he didn't have to be so brutal.
Right.
And, so I walked out of there because I had my hopes up,
He got his PhD in medicine, Max, not bedside manner.
I mean, I had my hopes up to be able to do it. Well, that was strike one. I couldn't do it. Pretty much the same thing on Dr. 2. Couldn't do it.
Do you feel like it was the universe kind of giving you some signs that, hey, you need to keep your leg?
At that time, I was just.
Well, Dina took you up there.
I was blessed to be alive, and the other part of it was I was just trying to make something connect, and I had to get my mind right that, hey, I may not have a leg. And so the third one, it was a trip to Tulsa.
Dina took you, right?
My sister Dina took me, and I was prepared to. The doctor asked, "What are you here for?" And so this time, instead of me saying, "Hey, I'm trying to save my leg" or whatever, I told the doctor, looked him straight in the face. I said, "Well, what I'm here for, I'm here for you to cut my leg off." And he kind of.
And you were serious.
I was dead serious. I was done, and he flipped out and told me, "Whoa, wait a second, I can help you save it." And my sister had been talking about water and getting in there, so I went to water therapy, and I was there for 6 months. When I started water therapy, I was lowered into the water with a lift. When I left therapy, I was walking out of the pool.
You knew in your heart that the water therapy would work because you'd been saying it all along that it was going to work.
But I had wounds, and everybody thought it'd get infected and all that. I didn't have any other choice. If it happened, it happened. But also, too, swimming pools and open wounds can heal as well and heal quicker. If your blood and everything's right. So then I started losing weight.
And feeling better.
Feeling way better. Feeling
like living again.
Feeling like living like nobody's business. In the meantime,
because there was a time when you didn't want to carry on,
and people helped me keep my business, helped me from getting down in the dumps to where I felt like, hey, what am I doing? So fast forward 15 years later, and it's kind of like I started the end of the year 2023 and 2024 back to seeing a doctor because my good leg.
No, you started off 23, and they told you that your blood sugar wasn't right. So you started off
23.
The year.
I started the fact of possibly getting a new knee.
A year ago, right now.
Because I had the ligaments or whatever went to bone. They thought if they scraped it, it'd work. It didn't last very long. So I endured in 23 with all this painful, you can't do it. You're not healthy. You're this, you're that. So blew it off.
Well, you ran pretty hard in 23.
And I ran from there until there to where one day I just had to wake up. The knee was gone. The leg was wasted. And so I started seeing doctors and everything. And, then you're looking at the 15-year market. And I've been blessed and done a lot of great things coming back from that fall.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, having to run a business and a way of life with mainly a wheelchair.
They said you'd never walk again.
At your legs, yes. You know, so it's like, and, you know, when you hustle so hard and you try so hard and you believe and you have faith, there's nothing that you can't do. You know, no matter how painful it is, I still get up, I still move around, and I still try to do what I do. Well, you know, now you got to sign off sort of if you're going to do a surgery. And, you know, I've already hit the wall of doctors telling me you're unhealthy. You know, you've had diabetes for so long.
Well, you started what, in October, November?
Yeah.
You started looking into, you need to get this knee replaced.
That your diabetes has been, and if we cut on you, you may not heal. You know, I've even had them tell me you're going to die on the operating table. You know, and that, or
what else did they tell you?
Or now you're 50-50.
Well, didn't they also tell you you'd had a stroke or a heart attack last year?
Yeah, and then they said, you know, you've had a stroke, you've had a heart attack, and I never not feel, you know, I mean, it's just, and so.
Red Bull kept you going.
What, thinking back and being told I couldn't or wouldn't be able to, and, you know, been through that before about dying and all that, it's just something that, you know, it scares the living shit out of me. And every day I try not to let the bad sort of overtake the good, because the good is, you know, still alive, still happening.
Well, so people are worried about you. So where are you at right now with the doctors? You can't get the surgery right now.
Right now, where I'm at with the doctors is they're looking at my heart to make sure that I'm able to do it.
You have to be strong enough to get the surgery, correct?
And they're making sure that all my veins or whatever are able to have blood flow, because there's been talk about can't get blood flow to the legs. You know, my pain level is 10, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's so high, but here's what I don't do towards my pain level. I live it and I endure pain. I don't take drugs, pills of any form, and I damn sure don't drink, no alcohol.
And they've offered you the pills to take,
you know,
too.
I could have an unlimited supply, but Max Baker Jr. does not. My sobriety and not wanting to go back like that, because, hey, listen, I could do that. Guess what happens? I'll die.
You'll become addicted to those pain pills.
I'll eat them till I don't wake up.
I know.
You know, so
it's just not an option.
That's an option that's out of the loop.
It's not an option.
And then you look at, well, you know, you're going on the operating table. You've been a diabetic for 20 years. You know, you haven't been the healthiest guy in the world, and now we're going to cut on you, and it's 50-50. You know, it's like, damn. And listen, I'm a gambler. You guys know it. I'll spin the machine until you can't spin it no more, till it turns red.
Yeah, but usually you like better than 50-50 odds.
I do like better than 50-50 odds. But, you know, the fact of the matter is,
you've got some other options now, though.
I've got some other options and some second opinions that I'm getting ready to look at.
Because you've met some wonderful people over the last couple of years that believe in you.
No, I'm telling you, the God of my understanding and the faith that I have been blessed with people who have allowed me to do what I do, but also know that they have things that I need, and the thing about it is the respect is so heavy that, you know, you don't get opportunities like that.
Correct.
You know, and that shows me that I'm blessed. You know, I don't want to give up. I don't want to quit. The other part of it is I'll roll and work and hustle as hard as I can. Bad legs are all.
But you've got some people that are really looking to find some quality physicians for you.
15. When you look at it, when you look at it from my perspective, you know what? I wasn't supposed to have a leg.
It's right there. It's
I
still
wasn't
here.
even supposed to be here.
You're still here.
And 15 years later, I could look at it as a downer or why me and this, but I got 15 years out of my legs when they said I wouldn't get one.
Look at how many stones. Look at how many stone shows you've seen since then.
Yeah, and there's a few more coming. I mean, it's. I guess it's going to.
Have you figured out which ones you're going to go to on this 2024 run?
Absolutely.
He's got an idea.
I got an idea. You want to hear it?
He's got 4 in
mind.
My
goal, hurt or not,
here we go,
is to end up April 28th in Houston, Texas, June 20th in Denver, Colorado, and July 10th, and it's either the 13th or the 14th. The debut, it's the shows before the last one. I'm going to go do 2 nights in Hollywood. And the cool part about doing it in Hollywood, I can see my friends. I can see 2 stone shows just like I did in Paris. And I can have the time of my life.
Now, let me just say, he's probably going to pick up 1 or 2 more shows along the way because something's going to happen. He's going to go, well, how could I not go to that show?
I heard the set list was going to be different, so I went ahead and decided.
Well,
just in case.
It's different every time.
Like I said, there's 4 right now.
I mean, I look at the ways when I see the Stones about, say, and my friend does too, Ron in California, who's he's a rock star. But he, we look at the middle. Because if you see 4 shows and they're doing 4 different songs in each set, you've got 16 extra songs.
That's true. That's true. And believe me, there's been talk that they will do a stand at the Sphere. And if they're going to the Sphere, don't think he ain't going to go.
I mean, but it's things to live for. It's
things to look forward to.
Things to look forward to, because if I sit here and get bummed out, believe you me, I'm bummed out. I can't drive. I got to ask people to help me. not.
Which is the worst thing for a recovering addict, to sit in his home and get bummed out by himself. That's not a good thing.
And if it wasn't for music will get me through all of this. Music will take me to the promised land. Because I feel my soul, And plus, they keep putting good shows around here. I'm okay. They just book Ryan Bingham.
I was going to say they just did Ryan Bingham in April.
At the Riverwind.
Well,
that's all right for you.
Oh, we'll be there.
So... as far as being hurt.
Did you see who Chad and Hunter just announced in April?
Who?
Christoph Kingfish.
Oh, yeah. He's coming here, too.
Yeah. Son. Where's he coming here?
Tower.
The
day before.
Wow.
There's a lot of good music out there.
And who is it that's coming to Beer City? Living Color.
Yeah.
Living Color. Wow.
On a Monday.
I'll be there.
Or a Tuesday.
And what's the capacity of that club? Like 300?
So, let's talk.
It's a rad place, man.
Let's talk about, okay, I'm hurt. I'm waiting around. Not supposed to be doing much. But I had the opportunity of taking a trip. And it was Saturday, coldest day. When we left Oklahoma City, 4 of us,
we thought it was cold when we left.
It was 18 degrees. Yep. No, it was 12 degrees.
12 degrees.
And so as we drew further south, and we stopped, and we had lunch at Two Frogs.
Did you say Droove?
Truth, yeah.
Droove.
We were driving
south.
We were driving south.
So we were rolling south.
That's driving and grooving at the
And
same time.
gotcha.
It's-
That
it's
makes sense.
Drooving.
And so we ate at the.
What'd you have?
We planned it to where we could stop there and eat, and then get there in time for the doors open, turn around and come back.
What did you? More importantly, what did you eat?
He's
at Two
just
Frogs?
going to see if you had the green beans or not.
I ate,
Yes.
I ate the.
You didn't, did you? You didn't have the green beans.
I ate the ribeye.
Oh yeah. Did you get the Cajun seasoning on it?
No, and I got green beans. Yeah. Double order.
Yeah.
We even talked about you, Jay.
because I got the cheese fries for an appetizer. Those were my potatoes.
You did it right. Proud of you, Max.
It was.
Proud of you.
It was, but it was crazy because this girl asked, "Hey, how's everything tasting?" And I mumbled something, and she thought that I said, "It sucks." You should have seen the look on her face.
Like, what?
She goes, "What did you say?"
Did I never hear anybody say that there?
And I mean, but so then we get to Dallas, and it's